Gaff, we're back in training this week after the international break. How are the lads?
Yeah, the lads are good. I think everyone's now back in the building after international break today. So yeah, training's been quite difficult to start the week and more focused on Exeter today before we travel tomorrow.
Are all the lads healthy as well?
No, there's a couple we're not quite sure of from coming back from the international break. So obviously Charlie Wyke and Lang are suspended, but there's a couple we're not quite sure of. I'll give them to the last moment to get on the bus tomorrow morning.
Just in terms of the international lads, nice to see Tello score his first under-21 goal for Norway, and some strike it was, and Abdi Sharif as well also debuted for Somalia, so proud moment for him.
Yeah, it's amazing for the club. Really good for Abdi. Abdi came on last year against Rotherham, and it's found it harder to push through this year. But yeah, brilliant boy, really great professional, trains very hard. So for him to get international recognition's really good. I think it's just a real positive for the club. I think that's the path we've chosen to go down with the young players, and already it's been positive for them, and it's positive for us. So, but for Tello, yeah, really good. I need to get Tello back to the best form, almost before his shoulder, and he's such a talent. And yeah, he came back this morning, so it was good to have him.
On to Exeter this week, and the first of two games against Exeter in the next 2 weeks. What did you make of the FA Cup draw during the same team again?
Yeah, it is what it is. I think doesn't matter to me who we draw, whether home or away, the distance of where we travel. Look, it's the FA Cup. I think we'll go there and give our all. But we've got a few games before that. Yeah, it's difficult for our fans, but honestly, I don't mind where our cup draw is. We'll put as strong a team out as we can when it comes to it.
Will this league game this weekend have any impact on the FA Cup game in 2 weeks, or are you not reading that too
much? I guess we'll find out. I think whenever you play an opponent that close together, tactically, I think it always has an impact because you get used to what that team does, or you see what that team does against you. But they can change, we can change. So I'm sure we'll know that a little bit closer to the cup game.
Gary Caldwell, just a fellow past Wiganer, you know him quite well, and obviously you know how his team's going to play as well come Saturday.
Yeah, I know Gaz really well, so I had amazing memories with him here. He actually did a brilliant job for me. He's my assistant at Hibs. I loved working with him. Yeah, he's got a good team. So when I've analysed Exeter, you see all the wing back 10 rotation with Mitchell. Yeah, you can see lots of things in that back three, but he could go back four. But they've generally been a back three, even against Arsenal and Reading in the cup with the younger players. They've gone the back three. So yeah, that's a decision I have to make. Yeah, whenever I've watched previous games of us against back threes, one of our favourite performances was away at Bolton when we were really aggressive and we just went high press. So yeah, that's a decision I have to make.
Friendships are put to one side. It's all about getting the win in it, and a big game, an important game for us.
Yeah, they'll be put to one side. I really respect Gary. I think it'll be put to one side for this game. But as soon as the whistle's done, then yeah, he's a good friend, a good mate. We've been through a lot on the pitch, and then we've been coaching together. So yeah, I'll be in every game. I'm desperate to win this game. Prepare to try and win it, and afterwards we can chat about the game. No problem.
You talked just before the international break about building on that second half in that AFL Trophy game. Is there anything in particular you want to see from your side on Saturday?
Yeah, two things. I think look at last season. I spoke a lot about a fight for the badge, a fight for the team. I need to see that. I need to see a real desire when we don't have the ball to stop the opponents, whether we press high, whether it's in the middle of the pitch. We have to have that desire from the first whistle to the last. The second half against Fleetwood was as good as any performance we'd had. So as good as the first 30 minutes at Bolton, as good as the first period of time against Derby or any game, it was that good. So I want that. And the other thing I want is a real aggression and freedom when we attack. Scoring goals hasn't been our issue, but I still want to see an aggression when we attack. It's I know we score a lot, where we can be an exciting team to watch. I want to see that again this weekend against Exeter. If we have the space, doesn't matter what position you're in, just go. So yeah, Those are the two things, with and without the ball. If the players give me that, it gives us a platform to try and win the game.
Talked about Lange and Charlie obviously being suspended. Matt Smith, Jason Kerr, another week of training. Are they getting closer, progressing well?
No, Matt Smith won't train for a few weeks. He had his surgery on Friday, so he had a hernia surgery. So he'll be difficult to judge, but it could be 4, 6, 8 weeks. It depends how that first period of the rehab comes. It's a big miss. Jason Kerr's trained. He now has to. It's been 10, 11 months with Jason, so I love how competitive he is. But I need to be quite fair on him, let him build up in reserve games, 45 minutes, 75, 90. Yeah, I love what he brings, but it might be a bit early for him the next couple of weeks.
Finally, obviously, a tough run of fixtures now in terms of Saturday, Tuesday, but an important time and a busy schedule, as I said, but important we get back on winning track in the league.
Yeah, it's just as important as it was a month ago. Obviously, we have a really difficult month in terms of results-wise. It's going to be hectic, but I've always said that I've repeatedly said that I love the best parts of the games. So we have to. In the last months, there's been pockets of our performances have been good, but there's been obviously large parts where we've conceded or we haven't done enough in games. So I need to see the very best of us this month, and if we do, then we can get ourselves out this bottom 4 and see where it takes us.